Here we go. Right, we begin.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, which is the first of up to 5 before Christmas. My name is Sinead, and I'm Client Support at Turner Accountants, and I will be a moderator today. All right, so before we get started, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the webinar environment, these on the screen now are the Zoom settings. So let's take a closer look. So you can select audio settings to test out your speakers. If you've got any questions at all throughout the webinar, just submit them via the Q&A button. We'll answer your questions at the end of the webinar. If you need to leave the webinar at any time, just click Leave Meeting in the red one there. Okay, now I'd like to introduce you to today's presenter, Director at Turner Accountants. Welcome, Mike Turner.
Hello, and welcome everybody to this first of 5 webinars that we were doing up to Christmas. The first one we're going to do today is your personal budget. So we'll start off with a thought of today. And the thought of today is it is critical that kids start to learn the value of money, short-term and long-term savings and budgeting at an early age. And that was by Alexa von Tobel, who's actually CEO of LearnVest, which is a personal finance website based in America. So have a think about the thought of today, because it's not too late to learn, and that's why we're here today. This pandemic has certainly highlighted some gaps in the business community's financial awareness skills. The best place to start in terms of growing these skills is with ourselves and therefore our children. I think we can all agree on that. Sometimes as accountants, we tend to focus more on business budgets and forecasts and not so much on the personal budgeting aspects of financial management. But we get lots of questions from clients about their personal spending along the lines, did I really spend that much last year? And what did I spend it on? Time and time again, people in client meetings, accounts meetings will ask me that question. So good financial awareness skills start with having a personal budget. Oh, we've gone back a screen, hold on. So today's agenda is one, we're going to cover understanding what we mean by personal budgeting, the obvious as well as the quite unexpected benefits of having a personal budget. 3, the key elements of your personal budget. 4, how to complete your personal budget using our free Excel template, which we'll make available to you at the end of the session as a self-help option for you. 5, how to create an accountability structure so that you stick to your budget as much as is possible. And 6, your next steps as a result of this webinar. 7, the support we can offer for those who don't want to go it alone. And 8, of course, you can send in your questions in as you go. We'll answer questions at the end of the webinar as part of the Q&A. So what is a personal budget? This is the definition of a personal budget. It's a very useful definition because it makes 3 important distinctions. Firstly, this is a personal budget. Its purpose and form is quite different to the budget you create for your business. Secondly, your personal budget is not just something you create and then put in the bottom drawer and don't look at it. It's an actionable plan that, if followed, will help you achieve financial and lifestyle goals. And lastly, your personal budget is forward-facing for a 12-month period and is broken down into months. It allocates your future personal income, including salaries, drawings, and dividends from the business, towards personal expenses, savings, and investments, and hopefully the reduction of personal debt. Put really simply, A personal budget is a plan that lays out how you will spend and save money. So why should you do a personal budget? What are the benefits of personal budgeting? There are many benefits of having a personal budget. Some of these are obvious and financially focused. Others are focused on reducing your stress and improving communication with your significant others. The value in having more control over your financial future cannot be underestimated. Focusing on your budget brings your focus to something you can have real control over. As I said at the beginning of this session, personal budgeting helps you focus on your money goals and creates a better awareness of where your money is going. A common comment we get from clients when they look at their annual accounts, as I've said, and see their personal drawings figure is, we can't possibly have spent that much money last year. If you ever thought this, don't worry, you're in very good company. Lots of clients say that to me, and lots of clients completely underestimate what they're spending because they spend some money from the business for things paid by the business, as well as the monthly amount that they draw. So it's like a hidden drawing. This is a sure sign that spending just 60 minutes each month drilling down into your personal spending, you'll have greater awareness of where your money is actually going. Having money goals and awareness of how much money you're spending and on what creates better money habits, in which turn helps you manage your debt levels. This enables you to achieve your wealth goals. A personal budget also acts as an early warning system because you can anticipate upcoming costs. Having a budget is so important in regards to communication with your spouse or partner. According to the marriage guidance experts, finance conflict is the top 3 most common argument topics, along with parenting and sex. At the end of the day, if you have a budget and you use it as one of your wealth creation tools, you will end up with more money and arguably, well, hopefully, less conflict and stress. So if having a personal budget is such a smart thing to do, then why aren't we all doing it? So why do people avoid personal budgeting, which a lot of us do? Here's the top 7 reasons why so many of us don't have a personal budget. Setting up your annual personal budget and reviewing your progress each month is not a time-consuming process if you've got the right systems in place. There are some simple things that you can do to make things easy on yourself. Firstly, make sure all your personal spending comes from one bank account or credit card, and try not to pay personal expenses out of the business bank accounts, because then you don't realize how much you're spending on personal stuff because it's hidden within the business. That way, you'll only have one spending source that you'll have to track. Secondly, get hold of a simple budget template to take the work out of setting one up. We'll provide you with a very simple template at the end of this session. And as an alternative, you can subscribe to a budgeting app such as Wally or Good Budget. Or you could go one step further and join a specialist personal budgeting coaching program, although this step isn't for everyone. Many people don't like the limits they feel a budget will place on them. Think of it as a spending plan instead of a budget. It should be the exact opposite of confining. It should be liberating, because it results in guilt-free spending, because you know how many pounds are allocated to your expenses. You'll no longer have the fear you might run out of money before the end of the month. I'm sure we've all had that. If your problem is simply that you don't know where to start, then a simple budgeting tool and some online training is the solution. There is no doubt that money can be a cause of conflict in a household. This simple fact prevents many couples from even talking about budgeting, but conflict around money doesn't resolve it. A personal budget is one simple step you can take towards a healthier relationship of money. Budgeting can be scary at first because it shows actually how much you are spending, and you may not want to find out the cost of your coffee habit or other addictions. However, sticking your head in the sand isn't the answer. Knowledge, as we know, is power. It's healthier to deal with the truth and move on positively. Pride is also an issue for some of us, but don't let your financial future be harmed because of your preconceived notion about who needs a spending plan. We all do. I totally understand how easy it is to let budgeting slide. Watching a movie sounds much more fun than doing a budget. Set a monthly calendar reminder to spend an hour each month reviewing your budget and actual spending. Understanding the benefits and building habits are the key. So the first step in personal budgeting is to set up your 12-month personal budget with income and expenses broken down on a monthly basis. This can be done in an Excel spreadsheet or by using one of the many personal budgeting apps. First, you enter your monthly income, next your expenses line by line within categories, so that you can see your monthly spend for each category. Seeing how much of your income needs to be allocated towards food, for example, can be very empowering and frightening. It's likely you'll have a good understanding of your monthly income from drawings from the business, wages and rental income. However, you might not fully understand the extent of what you're spending each month. To get a better idea of how much you're spending and what you're spending it on, it's a good idea to start by analysing your personal bank accounts and credit cards. Be prepared for a shock in some categories. You might even have a guess before you do it for each category. You'd be surprised at how wrong you are. If you prefer to budget on a forward-facing basis, be sure to include big ticket items such as insurance rates, school, university fees in the months in which they normally fall due. When budgeting your debt repayments, this is your opportunity to plan for increases or decreases according to cash surpluses and wealth creation plan. Your personal budget goals may be to accumulate sufficient cash surpluses to invest further in your business or in investments. This is your personal budget and it needs to reflect your overarching family goals. The other thing you've got to remember as well is once you've set your personal budget and found out what your income requirements are personally, then you can filter that back to your business with regard to setting your budgets and your goals in the business. Okay, now we're going to have a go at completing the template. So if you just bear with me, if I can see if I can get up the personal budget plan. So yeah, just can everybody see that? Hopefully you can. So this is our personal budget template, which will provide to you, all of you today. It's really simple and easy to use. So I'll quickly run through it using some fake data. First of all, you need to change the year end, which we can do in there by the drop down. So we change that to the year end October. We then need to put your name in. Yeah, and then this will then take you to the first step of the entering the actual amount. Yeah, so the next step is to enter your monthly income. So the fastest way to do this is to select the payment frequency from the drop down. So from the drop down there, you can see it's monthly, fortnightly, weekly, or manual. So I've left it on monthly. Then you can put in how much you get from your business drawings. So say that's £5 grand. And then if you look, you can see that's pre-populated all the months. And then if we say that we actually pay ourselves a bonus as a dividend in November and May. So if we go to dividends and we actually say manual, then we can do, say, 3,000 there and 3,000 in May. So next we need to enter planned expenses, which are under households, food, children, wearables, medical insurance and transport. So let's just put some in just to make the data. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's put, so 875 into that, say, rates, say 100, and water rate, say 50, mobile phone, say 50 again, and let's leave it at that. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can say, let's say, where's food? Okay, so groceries, let's say they're 1,000 a month, and you'll see that pre-populates it all. And then if you look at the top, then it'll show you how much cash surplus. I look at that, we've got 41 grand in the bank at the end of the year. So then, yeah, so if you actually sort of go into actual performance, and then what you can do, if you, because you've got your budget, so actually put in what you've actually spent that month. So the mortgage, yeah, it was actually 875, rates were 100, water rates were 50, mobile phones were 50, but we actually bought a new city, which we didn't know about. So that then will show you what you've actually spent against what you've actually budgeted for. So we said we're going to have a surplus of 5 grand at the end of the month. We didn't pay ourselves the dividend, and we had to buy that city. So in fact, we only had 1,900 quid at the end of the month spare. Okay, so if we go back to the other screen, if I can just get it up. Then yes, just share that. Then yes, so we're back here on the personal budget template, and you can see that we've pre-populated that with everything, and it shows how much your money is, where it's all come from, that income, and your annual expenses, what you spent it on: household, food, apparel, children, medical insurance. So there's little point in preparing a personal budget if you don't monitor your progress. Preparing the budget will be a valuable experience as you'll learn where your money actually goes. However, this is only the first step. The enduring value comes from seeing your spending habits improve and having open and comfortable discussions about where your money goes and how you're achieving your personal financial goals. It's key to track your spending on a monthly basis and then review it. For some couples, discussions about spending and budgeting are normal. That's great. For others, particularly where money behaviours differ, conversations about money are more intense. In this case, some people may consider engaging an external facilitator to sit down with you and work out your budget and be a non-judgmental sounding board. Though through the process, try to have some fun and bring some light to what can be a serious topic. Celebrate your wins, and yes, your celebration may involve spending money. So if you're accounting for it, if you're recording it, you can see where your money's going, you can change your behavior, you can find out when you're going to have shortfalls, You can find out when you're going to have surpluses, like you're saying, what you would like to what you would think you'd like to spend your surpluses on. So thinking back to the thought of the day, don't hide this from your children. Let them see you set aside time to work out your budget. This makes process normal and light-hearted, where you can not ominous and scary. So your next steps. We know that focusing on personally spending can seem confrontational. You may get worried that your spouse or accountant will judge you for your spending. I will never, ever judge you for your spending. That's really not the focus of setting a personal budget. Your personal budget is just that, personal. It's yours alone. Your budget simply reflects your decision around how you should spend your earnings and how much you should be left over for debt reduction, savings, investment, and enjoyment. So instead of dwelling on the roadblocks, time, fear, and pride, remember to focus on the benefits. Better control, focus and awareness, improve money habits, and achieving your wealth creation goals. Focus on the benefits you seek to gain. Then take the first step of setting your annual personal budget. Use our simple tool. It will help you a lot. Focus on your expenses you can and want to control, and get support from us if you need help or independent accountability. So yeah, we can help with this. So if you want to use your personal budget, and if you pre-populate it and you're struggling with it, then we can review it and help you sort of talk about it for £90, or we can actually review it and have a coaching session with you for £142. Personal budget template, we're going to send you that for free, and also as usual, you can have one complimentary business meeting free a year. So that's all that I've got to say. So if you would like to ask me any questions, I don't know if there's any questions come in, Sinead, or not.
Sorry, hi Mike, I'm just having a quick look now. Yeah, we've got one. How often should I review my budget?
Well, like I said, I think it's very good that you should look at it every month. When you've completed it every month, then I think it's a good idea to actually just put it away, and then maybe the next day get the day tray out, have a look at it, and that's when you review it. Because if you start reviewing it when you just enter the data, you don't really understand it. So put it away, review it every month, and it might be that when you things change, like your mortgage interest changes or your debt repayment changes, then that's when you need to review your budget. So I would say probably every 3 months. Okay. If there's no more questions. All right.
Not at the minute.
Okay. All right. Well, parting thought. So a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending. The next short webinar we'll have is called Know Your Numbers. So that's from the business point of view, whereby looking at how you can drill into your numbers and how those numbers can help you run your business. So thanks very much for attending, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.